You see that? There's still beautiful fall colors here in Columbia County, New York, and I want to have one last fall adventure. I'm at the Harlem Valley Rail Trail at the northernmost terminus. I want to ride it all the way to the southernmost terminus today and back, which I think is like 60 miles. I got a new scooter with a super long range. I'm not sure if it can handle that whole range. It's got a range of 50 miles. I might end this day coming back in the dark, kicking that thing for 10 miles. I'm not sure. The clocks changed this morning. It's going to get dark early. I don't know how this day is going to end, but it's going to be an awesome adventure. I can't wait to use this new scooter. I'll show you guys what I got. You remember that Berenstain Bears story, or perhaps it's Three Little Pigs, where the first port is too cold, the second too hot, the third one just right? I think that's the case with scooter number 3. My first one was great. It had these big beefy tires, got a good range, but it had this big seat in the back, which added a lot of weight and mass. Turns out I prefer standing. This is called the L1 by Ausom. It's an improvement on that. My second scooter, by the way, I loved. It was lightweight, easy to manage, but it dies after like 16 miles of range. I just can't count on it for a full day ride. This one supposedly gets 50 miles of range, which is crazy. I'm going to try to kill it today. I'm going to bring it down to death. I'm going to ride about 60 miles, I think, stretch of the Harlem Valley Rail Trail, which runs from Albany down to Harlem, New York City. Actually, the stretch from Harlem to Wassaic is still operating as a commuter rail, but the northern stretch is all this beautiful rail trail now. Winds through the Taconics. It's a beautiful day. Anyway, the L1 by Ausom, I'm going to put it to the test today. This is going to be an adventure. I might end up dead in a ditch in the dark. We'll see, but let's get on the trail. According to the sign at the trailhead, the original southern terminus of this railroad was 14th Street in West Manhattan, which I'm pretty sure is the present-day High Line. It was part of that, I guess. They extended up north to Harlem in like 1832, and then extended up north up the west bank of the Hudson River, eventually all the way to the Albany area. It's actually one of the oldest railroads in North America. They laid it down in 1831. It's pretty. I like it a lot. This scooter has the most futuristic looking display of any scooter I've gotten yet. It actually has a little digital speedometer that goes up to 160 miles per hour. No way am I riding that. I don't think you actually can, so that's a little strange. I also wonder if the refresh rate of this LCD screen is faster than the frames per second I record at. Otherwise it blinks. That's just something that's kind of annoyed me with my last few scooters and bikes. This is amazing. Cruise control. This changes the entire experience for me because I can hold the camera and not feel like I'm gonna kill myself. It's so pretty right here. I just entered this grove. There's all this farmland on either side of me. We're gonna be heading by Bash Bish Falls or Bish Bash, one of those two. Probably the most dramatic waterfall in Massachusetts, but it's actually right on the state line. At the first major road junction, there's an old train depot turned into a little country convenience store, and on the other side is the trail to Bash Bish Falls, the most dramatic waterfall in Mass, the tallest in terms of like a cascade and stuff. And there's ruins of a cool old iron operation down there, like a quarry and mills and stuff. I'm gonna go check that out later in the day. I don't want to go down there now because it's really crowded, and I don't want to leave this thing unattended. And I kind of want to see it in the beautiful evening light. So I'm gonna keep going. Destination 25 miles from here. I need a rear view mirror for the handlebars in this thing. I keep forgetting to get that. I did bring a couple of headlamps in case I need that. I'm prepared for the worst. The next area we're going to go through is called the Boston Corner up here. If you look on the map of Massachusetts, it's like a little triangle in the southwest corner of the state. Got chopped off. That's because it did. It got traded with New York State in the 1800s. It was just this kind of inaccessible area, inaccessible from the Massachusetts side because of the mountains. So people went there to escape Mass jurisdiction, or New York State jurisdiction. They kind of like hid out there, and it became kind of a lawless place. illicit boxing matches and who knows what else. Tons of like brothels, stuff like that. Just debauchery all around. It sounded like an awesome place. But there is a way to access it through Mass now. They built a road eventually. There are a bunch of farms that still operate here in Columbia County, New York. Kind of go right through them. Yeah, this is such a beautiful part of the country. Columbia County, the foothills of the Taconics, right in between the Hudson River and the Mass border. Cruise control, I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever. It's a game changer. It is also noticeably colder and windier, and I had to put my hood on under my helmet. I can barely hear myself talk. It's going to change the way I narrate for sure. But we're about to enter that Boston corner I was telling you about, right through this beautiful farm. How awesome would it be to have land right next to this thing? Look at this house up here. I think these things on the ground are black walnuts. They are just death. This is a great day for a ride. The light is amazing. The colors are decent. There's an eagle screaming. Unfortunately, I look like the Unabomber on a unicycle. It's not a good look for me. I'm a little self-conscious right now. People are giving me looks, but my ears are just getting so cold. I'm not ready to bust out my full-on winter coat yet, so I'm just going with the layers for the time being. It is so gorgeous right here in this little valley in the top of the Boston corner, but I need to get a move on. It's actually only 3.5 hours until sunset, and I've hardly made a dent. I had to stop here because up this road is the trailhead for Allender Mountain. In my opinion, the best hiking trail in all of Massachusetts. It's all bald at the top of the ridge up there. You can't see it from here. I did a video where I spent the night up there, and I hallucinated that I was being abducted by the devil or something like that that scene from Rosemary's Baby. Despite all of that, it's my favorite trail, and I had the time of my life up there. I did a video up there. I don't think I'd do that again, though. But, I don't know. Maybe I will when I'm ready to be raped by the devil again. I need to get a move on. I've barely made a dent in how far I need to go. The cruise control on this even adjusts itself for inclines. I just went up a little ramp back there. Once I got to the top, it sped back up. It remembered what speed to get to. That's pretty cool. I am absolutely loving that feature. I also like being able to stand with both my feet next to each other, side by side. I actually feel like this is the safest way to stand. You need the big wide boards for this. This scooter so far is the bee's knees. I'm absolutely loving it. It does do one thing that I don't like. Actually, all scooters and all e-bikes I've ever ridden do this thing. They break themselves when they're going downhill. I hate that. I'm trying to pick up momentum, you know what I mean? Instead, it's just wasting brake pad. I somehow still have 80% battery life left, according to that monitor. And yet I've gone 18 miles already. That's crazy, or something about that isn't right. It might be the same issue as the last scooter. When you come to a break, when you idle, suddenly your battery percentages go way up. They need to have some sort of algorithm to fix that. It's too confusing. This is a beautiful little town though. It's called Millerton. Check out this cut in this old rail bed. This is some ancient cut work right here. Must have been part of the 1830s line, where they all kind of drilled holes and then drive spikes into it to break up the rock. The light is so pretty right now, but I think in about 15 to 20 minutes, I need to turn around no matter where I get to. I have been going pretty slow in this thing, averaging around 10 miles per hour. I just like that speed. I feel like it's the perfect cruising pace. Just stop and enjoy, smell the roses a little bit. I do want to get some good light and get back to that Bish, whatever it is, falls. Maybe fly my drone there a little bit, do some photography. I haven't shot the sunset in over a week. I've got about 6 miles to go to Wasake, the southern terminus. I ain't gonna make it. My battery meter just dropped below 50% on that thing, and that's my cue to turn around. I don't want to repeat what I did in Kingston and kick this thing for 6 miles in the dark. It's twice as heavy. That's actually a lot of work. This is a good spot to turn around to. Very pretty. There's a little lamb's ear, I think it's called, the name of this fuzzy little plant. I love these things. Unfortunately, I lost my tripod, my favorite tripod, somewhere on the route. I hope I see it on the way back, though. I doubt it. It was like a fancy little thing. Yeah, that would be nice to find. I'm gonna have to do with these shaky handheld camera shots like I'm doing right now for the rest of the video. Sorry. I'll throw in some music here and enjoy the cruise home for a little while. So this scooter is all sorts of effed up. The brakes are stuck, and I don't have the multi-tool to loosen them. I've got less than 10% battery life. I might have to dial a friend for a rescue. I don't think I can drag this thing for 10 miles because there's no neutral mode to it. The brakes are locked shut. It's crazy. I'm all about being independent, have been my entire life. It's both my best and worst qualities. You know, it is really good to have a friend you can dial up for help when you need it. I feel like I'll live longer if I have a partner, you know. That blue sign right there marks the original border between Mass and New York that, I think it was a tri-point technically, that southwest tip before they lobbed off a triangle and ceded it to New York. This is also the spot where I'm gonna get picked up, rescued, hopefully. Yeah, the brakes are totally clamped shut on this thing, and there's no way to relieve it. I do not have the multi-tool with me. You know, they give you so many different ratchets and hex keys and stuff of different dimensions. I wish all the bike makers would just throw in a multi-tool and call it a day. Make it a lot easier. I changed my mind. I'm gonna try to push it and get 1.7 more miles to the next parking space, because there's nowhere for him to pull over right there at that road and for me to load the scooter in. Not a safe situation. So I think I am gonna kill this thing after all. It's just flashing one bar. It's been doing that for like 10 minutes. Can't be able to do that much longer. Look how beautiful the light is up ahead. I'm officially flashing 0 bars. That can't possibly be good. Maybe I shouldn't have jumped that next road crossing. I'm not sure how far I've made it. I feel like I still have a mile to go. I can walk that if I have to. Under Mountain Road, yeah, I did a blurb right here. This is Allender Mountain, where I had a horrendous nightmare on the top of the mountain. I'm amazed I made it back this far. You know, that the scooter works great. It's just that the brake came too tightened out of the box, and I'm sure they put the multi-tool in there, the right hex key for it, and I just didn't grab it. I was setting this up with another bike at the same time. I wish they'd just throw a multi-tool in there instead of giving me all the little tools, you know. I may have already said that, but my friend is gonna pick me up here on Under Mountain Road. Thankfully, there's a little parking space. I guess I'll see the sunset from here. That was awesome getting rescued. I would have been walking for like 2 or 3 hours. More than that with that thing. The brakes are stuck. Tomorrow I'm gonna try to fix that and take it out for a second ride. Give it another spin. Make sure everything works smoothly. Because aside from that, that Ausom scooter is actually pretty awesome. My favorite of the 3 so far. Like ergonomically. Anyway, I just stopped at a little gas station at Route 20. Got myself some pretzels, a banana, as you can see, a Diet Pepsi because I am dehydrated, and of course a little pumpkin coffee, the 3 Ps as I call it. I was thinking of going to the gym, seeing if that was open, love to get a shower tonight. I decided to pay a visit to my storage unit. I noticed they always keep this door open now. I wonder if they do that because of me. Well, I've officially run out of space in my storage unit. I know because I can't close the door all the way. I get my dollar's worth out of my storage unit. You know how I know? Because I visit it all the time. I think if you have a storage unit that you never visit, that just means you have stuff that you need to get rid of. But now I need to upgrade to a bigger space. I'm not sure what to do. All these gadgets and gizmos I've been collecting are starting to add up. Yeah, I'm very grateful to my friends Terry and Morgan rescuing me tonight on the trail. Yeah, that was clutch. The scooter, the brakes were like clammed shut, so I couldn't push it home even if I wanted to. I was in trouble. They're also letting me stay at their driveway tonight. It's good to have friends. You know, it goes a long way. Talk about places I consider home. That's why I like coming around here. I have a network, you know. Anyway, it's freezing ass cold. I busted out my winter coat for the first time today. It's also the first day with pre-5 p.m. sunsets. Just totally blows. I'm gonna give that scooter another shot, try to optimize it tomorrow, fix the brake issue, and maybe do another spin or something. Tomorrow's a work day. I don't know. I'll see you guys in the morning. I had a great sleep. I love cranking the thermostat to like 80 degrees. It was, I think, almost 32 degrees last night. Almost freezing. I'm not ready for that. Like I said, I busted out my winter coat for the year. I'll probably wear it going forward, like for the next 6 months. Today, I gotta work. It's a work day. I'm gonna get to a little work spot and see if I can find a multi-tool for that scooter at some point. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Another day, another dollar. Thankfully, right next to my gym is a Harbor Freight. I'm gonna see if I can go get one of those multi-tools for fixing bikes. You know, the things with a bunch of like hex keys and star keys attached to it. I think they're really cheap over here. This is what I'm talking about. All these different types of things. This one is a hex and a star key. Look at 3 of them for $7. No reason why the e-bike companies can't just throw that in. Here's a slightly more heavy-duty one that is also $7. Yeah, 3 of these for $7. No reason why the e-bike, the e-scooter companies can't just throw these in. Instead, they give you little individual hexes in like plastic Ziploc bags and stuff. These are so much easier to find in your bag in the dark. It's so hard not to buy other stuff while I'm here. Look at these heavy-duty jacks. 30 tons. That'll lift the van. I should probably get something better than what I have. One of these hex key tools, some WD-40, and some shop towels, and a banana. I feel like one of these 4 things should solve the problems with an Ausom scooter. Get rid of that squeal, unclamp the brake. Hopefully that's all it is. And then I can put my stamp of approval on this scooter. Maybe think about giving away the other 2. Yeah, hopefully my storage unit is still open. They've been keeping it open late, maybe because of me. They used to lock it all the time. First question, is my storage unit open or is the gate closed? I feel like it should be open. It's only 6:30. It feels later than it is because of the time change. No, it is gated closed. I don't know why they're closed so early. It's only 6:15 p.m. They should not be gated now. Like, evenings is the only time I can get to my storage unit. Obviously, I have a 9-to-5 job. I've been sitting here thinking about whether I want to try to sneak in, but you know, if they don't want people in here after hours, I shouldn't be like condoning that, even though I've done it before. I also really don't want to get dirty. It's been raining out. This is my nice winter coat. So I am not going to be able to fix that scooter tonight. But the way to fix it is very easy. One of these hex keys right here, there's a little bolt at the bottom where the brake line connects. You take that and you just kind of unscrew it and you can adjust how tightly strung. You can adjust the tension in that brake line. It needs to be taken down a notch with that Ausom L1 scooter. It came too tight out of the factory and it's keeping the brake too clamped. Unfortunately. Yeah, I won't fix that in time for this video, but, you know, that's how life goes. Next time I come here, I'll put all this stuff in the storage. Tonight, I just kind of want to put the wraps on this day. I had a long day. I did just go to the gym, and I want to find a place to sleep tonight. My work is not done. Yeah, let's get out of here. Yeah, too bad I could not get that Ausom squeaky brake fixed in time for this video. But, you know, yesterday, even with the brake partially engaged like that, I watched the video. You could hear the squealing the entire time. So it came out of the box like that. I still got 37 miles out of the thing with the brake partially engaged, which is pretty good. I'm sure that costs a lot of resistance, but that's about 10 miles short of what the listed range on that thing is. Still, you know, I need like a longer range bike than that. Than the little TVT, the smaller scooter. Even though those things are so easy to carry, 16 miles of range just ain't gonna cut it. I can't like go out and have an adventure with something like that. But the big scooters, like the first one I got with a wheel on the back, is just too much bulk. They're almost as heavy as a bike. This L1 is like the perfect in-between. I think I have a discount code for it. I'll drop a link and the code, if I have it, in the description below. Anyway, I'm gonna have a nice, safe sleep tonight. I don't know if you can hear that. It's rain on the roof. I heard a rumble of thunder, too. I would love some wind. Just throw that into the mix. When I get the white noise of the rain and the wind rocking the van back and forth, the complete chaos of a storm like that, ironically, is just the most soothing thing ever for me in here. One of the perks of van life, the sound of the rain on the tin roof. Anyway, I'm going to call it a night. Sorry, I had these flashing lights. I have the disco ball light going. I know that triggers some people. But I'm going to have a good night. I think tomorrow I'm going to get out of here and migrate towards... I don't know. I'm going to keep that a secret. About 3 nights in any one town is the most I can take. And then I get restless. That's why multiple places feel like home, you know. Good to hedge your bets geographically. Alright, I'm rambling. Thanks for sticking around for this adventure. One last fall adventure, I rode this Ausom scooter until I killed the thing, and I had a blast doing so. Until next time, peace out.